Who is easily seduced? When it comes to romantic entanglement, there are women with certain qualities and in situations who are more prone to being seduced, which ends in heartbreak for them when the seducer gets bored and takes off, as they inevitably do.
Ladies, pay attention.
If you resonate with any of these characteristics, be wary when someone magnetic and charming crosses your path. Someone who is always complaining and sad is easily swept off their feet. Seducers temporarily lift the sadness as they act interested in the complainer and make them feel special. They're also great at concocting a fantasy of a better and more romantic world compared to the reality of life.
Team Jackson, what's happening?
This is why I believe 40 and 50-year-olds are the dopest generation. At least today's 40 and 50-year-olds. I can't speak for everybody else. But y'all are probably the first group of women, especially mature women, that have the wisdom and the cooking skills and the natural maternal instincts of the previous generation, while not even looking like the generation that you're in. You know, maybe because you ain't been in no relationship that's beat you down, you know, over the years, y'all are able to go and pursue your own dreams and all of that, and instead of basically being so subservient, you know, you don't even look like most women I've seen 40 and 50 years old, they could pass for 10 years younger.
Who is easily seduced? The women who are angry, make it, you know, feel good, make feel good fantasy. That's why Derek Jackson was very successful and continues to be successful. He was a master seducer to women who weren't getting the outcomes that they desired on the dating market. And that's why these women gravitated towards him. And he knew that. The funniest thing happened when Derek Jackson got found out for doing all that foolery that he was doing. I thought that women would withdraw their support, but they did the exact opposite. They gave him excuses. They gave him excuses by saying that his wife looked destitute. His wife didn't keep herself up. So he had no choice but to sneak in with some surgeon in the back seat and get that woman pregnant because his wife looks messed up. They made excuses for him. And another excuse that black women made for Derek Jackson is that, well, even though he got found out for doing all this stuff he told us to watch out for, it doesn't negate the fact that what he was saying was true. They make excuses for him. That's the ultimate seducer. And this guy was perfect because he would put up little pictures of him carrying groceries to the house and say, hey, a real man, go grab the groceries. And he bring home the bacon and all that stuff. And women was like, oh my God. Yeah, even though this brother was married, he's good. He was using bait. You see that? Who is easily seduced? Derek Jackson knew that black women, as a lot of single black women, they were going to buy his books. They were going to go to seminars because they thought that they had a chance with Derek Jackson. And ultimately, some of them did. Because he was sneaking in with him. So he was a sneak, man. Oh, he's good.
Even more. But add that to the fact, y'all got this sex drive 2-3 times the generation that came after you. And I ain't trying to offend no 21, 22, 23-year-olds. You know, I guess about 30, women start kind of getting that glow of the next generation. But 40 and 50-year-old women got a sex drive out of this world. So for all of those reasons,
now, you probably wondering how you know that 40 and 50-year-old women got a sex drive out of this world. At the time, this brother was married. This is a young man. So how you know that 40 and what you trying to get into? What you trying to tell your audience back in the day? How you know? Yeah, got you. Yeah. But it was a smart woman in this comment section under this video. She was like, how he know that 40 and 50-year-old women got a high sex drive? Wasn't he married at the time? He's a sneak.
Many more, of course, man. You got to understand, regardless of what society says, if you in your 40s and your 50s, you something special. And when you something special, you don't let just anybody play with that. You don't let nobody play with it.
So they heard that message. It's like, you know what? You damn right. Hey, all you got to do is know the game. Derek Jackson knew the game. He was a pandering ass dude, but he knew that damn game. And women, oh man, they fell for it immediately. But me being a smart brother, man, how you know all this stuff? You know, to know all this stuff, you must have been dibbling dabbling into this world. And sure enough, it comes out. So
If this is you, there are a number of ways to either change your reality or change the way you look at it. The first is to have an attitude of gratitude. What can you be grateful for in your life? What do you love about your life? Reality can't be all rainbows and puppies all the time, unfortunately. But the more you find things to like about your life and change the things you don't like, the less you'll need a fantasy. The seducer will be less attractive to you, simply because they can't really offer you anything that you want.
But again, going back to Derek Jackson, the women who gravitate to his content, I remember them saying, yeah, I've been listening to him for about 6-7 years now. But I would have thought the purpose of listening to his content was for you to stop listening to it, so you eventually found a man. But being the ultimate seducer type of guy that he was, he kept him watching the content by making all men the enemy. So as long as he kept saying it's all men's fault, you need to look out for this, look out for that, look out for that. Those women that watched his content, they would go out on the dating market and they will remember one thing that he said. And if it came up during the date, I got to cut him off. And you know where they would go? Right back to his content.
Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Yeah, Derek Jackson said this would happen. And I went out with this guy and he did the exact same thing. Man, that's why I'm going to stay single. And you know where they stay? Right in front of their phones, watching his content. And you know what that does for him? Drives more engagement, more books sold, more money. Black women, they didn't understand the play at all. So now those same women that was watching his channel before he got caught, they still watch his channel. They made no growth. They probably still don't have a man, and they still listening to Derek Jackson point out all the negative things that men do. So when they do dip their toe back on the dating market, they find one of those things and they get rid of them because he told them to get rid of them. And he did that for a reason. He probably was like, I want to make sure I'm the only man that they see. And you know what happened? He became the only man that they saw. The only good one, right? And he curated his space like that. And I'm explaining this, understanding that women still won't listen to me. And he knows that. That's why he's able to continue to make content till this day. And those same women are in his comment section listening. They have made no growth. They don't have husbands. They just have him. Makes sense? I know some lady gonna listen to this and they're gonna be like, well, that makes sense. He's good. Let's continue.
Active imagination. Seducers give off signals. Their actions wave red flags for those who are paying attention. But a target with an imagination doesn't see the obvious signs that they're dealing with a seducer who is planning to love them and leave them. Seducers induce fantasies that can be easily pictured by someone with a good imagination. The target can get so wound up in the beautiful future that the seducer promises that they miss the cues, which would otherwise tell them that it is not going to happen.
That's how panderers are able to win with black women. You see that? Women have a vivid imagination of what, the type of men that they think of. And he was trying to, I guess, paint that picture for them. And he did a good job. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't learn.
They're also very skilled with language, and it's easy to be caught up in their words.
See?
Make sure, if you know you possess a vivid imagination, that you are looking at your potential lover's actions, not just listening to their fantasies. That will help you see the red flags when they begin waving. You typically ignore red flags and the opinions of family and friends. Similar to those with active imaginations, you're so immersed in the fantasy and the charm that you ignore the signs you should be heeding. You have arguments which suggest that you're incompatible because you don't share common values, or the other person doesn't seem to ever want to do what you want to do. Your friends and/or family warn you about the signs they see. Perhaps they know people who've been burned by your seducer. They've seen them around town in the company of attractive people, or they can see that the seducer is making you unhappy. Or maybe your behavior has changed for the worse. They love you and want the best for you. It's true that sometimes other people won't be able to see what you see in someone, and that's not always a bad thing. But if everyone around you is telling you the same thing, you should listen to what they have to say.
That part right there reminds me of black men trying to tell black women about Derrick Jackson. For damn near, I remember when I first got into these spaces, I used to see black men trying to say, man, this dude, he lying to y'all. This dude, he's a panderer. He just telling you what you want to hear. I remember that. I remember black men everywhere was saying this. And then when he got found out, every black man was like, hey, we told y'all. But like I said, black women made excuses for him. So at that point, there's really nothing you could do. And that, honestly, that was an example of black women rejecting protection. Because it comes with prevention. If men are every man is telling you that, hey man, y'all got to watch out for this dude. That is a prime example of how women continue to push forward because they still like what this guy is saying. And that's a problem in the black community. When I tell women, hey man, you need to run this dude by your brothers, your dad, your uncles to properly vet him. But a lot of women will just bypass that because they know that that man may not be good for him, but they like him. They're attracted to him. So they know if they tell their dad about this guy, the dad is going to be like, nah, you can't date this dude. So they just bypass that. Women know. They know what they're supposed to do, and they know what men are going to say, but they won't listen. And that's a huge problem in the black community. Black men cannot protect what they cannot correct. And that's something that black women need to understand if they want these marriage rates to increase on their behalf. If not, black men gonna continue marrying other races of women, and you're about to see them numbers shoot up to 40%. It is what it is, okay?